60 years ago, African American students were not permitted to walk through those halls. 9 courageous black teenagers took the first steps towards integration in 1957 by enrolling to this high school behind me called Central High in Little Rock, Arkansas. However, the fight for racial equality was met with a great deal of backlash by those who believed that schools should remain segregated. We spoke to members of the community to hear their opinion and recollection of this historical event.
What do I remember about the Little Rock Nine?
Just students who came and decided to segregate.
I don't know what I really remember about this.
We also went to my hometown of Bentonville, Arkansas to see how answers might vary 3 hours away.
So I don't know who the Little Rock Nine are. I've never heard of them.
So I'm sorry, I really couldn't tell you who the Arkansas Nine were.
And if I'm correct, the Little Rock Nine were members of the Black Panthers, were they not?
Isn't it like when a black girl wanted to go to school at the university, or not the university, the school in Little Rock, I'm not sure if it's a university or not, and they didn't let her go?
I don't know who they are. The Little Rock Nine, I don't know who they are.
Many of the responses that we received were either misconceptions or showed a lack of knowledge. However, there were a few people that could recall the event.
The Little Rock Nine were a group of 9 African Americans that integrated into Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas.
So the Little Rock Nine was a group of 9 African American students who were trying to attend Central High School, but they weren't allowed due to segregation.
There were 9 African American students that wanted to go to school, but they couldn't because integration wasn't a thing at that time.
The Little Rock Nine was a group of African American students who wanted to integrate the schools.
I grew up, I watched Central High School on CBS television. I watched the people go in, I watched the troops. I saw the whole incident pretty much, so Central High School has a very, very important part in my life because, like I said, I grew up with it, I saw it, experienced it, and so forth.
Whether you know about them or not, the Little Rock Nine did indeed create a movement that resulted in a ripple effect across the country. Civil rights leaders like Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King Jr. pushed for racial equality nationwide. Amongst those leaders was Thurgood Marshall, who argued that separate schools were unjust and violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. The students' brave decision to enroll at Central High came after Supreme Court Justice Earl Warren delivered the unanimous ruling that declared segregation of public schools unconstitutional.
Defiance of a school integration order. Faubus called out the Arkansas National Guard to stop 9 black youths from attending Central High School. Eisenhower countered by ordering in the Army's 101st Airborne Division, and the black students were finally escorted to class at Central High on September 25th.
Now knowing the history of such an impactful event, I was curious to hear how some citizens felt about the country moving forward after reflecting on one of the hardships that forged equality in our country.
If you teach kids that, you can't go to the same school because of their skin color, because you're different, that's going to create racism in their mind. So I think it was a big deal because, it's kind of this form of equality, like we're all equal, and you start from education because that's when we start learning, that's when we're young.
I think that we learned from the Little Rock Nine because everybody's the same. Like, its skin color does not matter whatsoever. Everyone deserves the same education, they deserve the same everything, needs to be equal.
I think in the future you'll see more diversity, more mixed races, and more equality in terms of education, like there is now, just be more enhanced in the future.
Right now, things are getting better for African American students. It's becoming more normal to have different races all around in schools. When you're in kindergarten and all the kids are friends with each other, they don't know color, I feel like that's how it will be in the future.
I think we still have definitely a lot to work on through racial equality, and actually I don't think that I know that.
I hope that we can all, see each other as who they truly are and not because of what they look like or what they dress like, just of who they are and their character. And I think that it'd be a really awesome thing to see.
We're all the same and we're all people and we just do what everyone else does.
Look for what's similar instead of looking for what's different.
We should all just look out for one another and try to help each other and be on the same, playing field, and that shouldn't matter where you came from or who you are or what circumstances you've had in your life. We should all have the same chances.
I think there's a lot of misinformation out there right now that people don't really educate themselves, or if they do try to educate themselves, they're so stuck on being closed-minded about things. And I think as a nation, we have to be more open-minded.
Hopefully we can get to one day where people don't view others as by the color of their skin and view others as people.
After listening to what people could remember about an event that happened 60 years ago, it reminded me of just how important it is to preserve that historical value. It's a vital tool that we can use as a state as well as a country to not repeat the past, but learn from it. As for me, I hope to see our generation strive to cultivate diversity and learn from the mistakes of the past.